The title race is on in Italy. You stoked? Cause I am. Welcome to Rabona TV. I'm Adrian, and this is the Weekend Review, where we look at Europe's top 5 leagues. Who's winning? Who's losing? All the stats and numbers behind it, etc. And hey, given that there are Champions League matches to take in tomorrow, make sure you join us for yet another watch-along. First, on Tuesday, we have Liverpool hosting Roma and then Bayern hosting Real Madrid on Wednesday. We always go live about 10 minutes before kickoff, so join us. You won't regret it. Alright, in England, there wasn't much going on league-wise, as there were only 5 matches played across Saturday and Sunday. One of those matches saw Mohamed Salah score in Liverpool's 2-2 draw with a never say die West Brom.
That was his 31st goal in the Premier League this season, which puts him level for the most in a single 38-match campaign. Then, he rounded out the weekend deservedly winning the PFA Player of the Year award. While some say the award should go to a player whose team won the league title, I don't think many would begrudge him this trophy.
Liverpool's remaining fixtures are up against Stoke, Chelsea, and Brighton, so you would think he'll be able to break the record. Oh, and including a friendly match for Egypt, Salah has scored in 7 matches consecutively and 10 goals in that 7-match period. Following the announcement on Friday that Arsene Wenger would be stepping down as the Arsenal manager at the end of the season, one of the questions was how would this Arsenal group of players respond? Well, against Moyes' boys, West Ham, I'm sure Arsene would have been quite happy, as a second-half flurry of 5 goals saw Arsenal win the match 4-1.
Nacho Monreal scored once again, his 3rd in his last 7 matches, which is as many as he has had in his first 153 matches in the Premier League.
Also, gotta give props to Aaron Ramsey, who grabbed a goal and an assist, meaning he's been involved in more goals across all competitions this season than any other player in the Arsenal squad. That was his 7th goal and 7th assist in the Premier League. City collected their Premier League title in style as they kicked around Swansea at the Etihad 5-0. Luckily for Benjamin Mendy, he was brought on in the second half, which was his first appearance in the Premier League since September 23rd. That was the 4th time this season that City have won by 5 or more goals at home in the Premier League, with all of the usual suspects scoring the goals: David Silva, Raheem Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, Bernardo Silva, and Gabriel Jesus, just missing Aguero and Sané in there. So congratulations once again to Manchester City, very worthy winners this season, and they are on track to breaking the record for goals scored in a single season, set by Carlo Ancelotti's Chelsea in the 09-10 season with 103 goals to City's 98. Also, they are on track to break Chelsea's record from the 04-05 season for the most points with 95. Also, they are also super on track to break yet another Chelsea record of 30 wins in a single Premier League season. City currently have 29. So City need 6 goals, 6 points, and 2 wins from their remaining matches against West Ham, Huddersfield, Brighton, and Southampton if they want to break all those records, and I'm pretty sure they can pull that off. The FA Cup was where the real action was at in England this weekend, as Chelsea and Southampton had a rematch of last weekend's Premier League fixture, but this time with the tint of the FA Cup. Chelsea looked a little uninspired at first, while Southampton seemed a little wasteful of the opportunities they managed to create for themselves. But again, Big G was the savior for the Blues, as in the 46th minute, Eden Hazard did a great gymnastics floor routine to control the ball and play it into the path of Giroud, who twinkle-toed his way between 2 defenders around the keeper and made it 1-0. In the 80th minute, Alvaro Morata was brought on, and of course, his best friend Dave couldn't wait to start whipping balls into the box for him. And just 2 minutes later, Morata was celebrating a headed goal, assisted by his friend Dave. Southampton out, and Chelsea moves on to the final, the 12th final from their last 15 FA Cup semi-final appearances. That was just the 2nd time in history that a manager has been knocked out of the FA Cup twice in one season, as Mark Hughes managed to get Stoke eliminated earlier in the tournament and sealed the deal with Southampton getting eliminated in the semi-finals. I'm sure he'll be so happy to hear that. The other semi-final was the more marquee matchup, as Mourinho's weird United team, form-wise that is, were matched up against Tottenham, a team that was coming off of a 3-1 loss to Manchester City and a 1-1 draw with Brighton. With neither team looking to be at their full powers as of late, who would come out on top? Well, coming into this, Tottenham had lost their last 7 FA Cup semi-finals, which was an unfortunate record as far as consecutive losses at that stage, but they could have been encouraged by the fact that they had won 3 of their last 5 matches against United.
And it was Spurs who started strongly, with Dele Alli finishing off a driven cross by Christian Eriksen after just 11 minutes, his 13th goal of the season. Eriksen has been involved in 10 goals in his last 6 matches alone for Spurs.
But just 13 minutes later, Paul Pogba began imposing himself on the match, and his cross found the head of Alexis Sanchez, of all people, to make it level at 1-1. Sanchez has been involved in 5 goals in his last 4 appearances. That was also his 4th goal in just 3 FA Cup semi-finals. Later in the second half, Romelu Lukaku's failed attempt at controlling the ball rolled perfectly to Ander Herrera, who smashed it home, capping off a recent run of matches where he has looked solid for United. Lukaku, by the way, who was actually credited for an assist for that touch, has now been involved in 14 goals and 12 FA Cup appearances. 12 goals and 2 assists. And that is how it ended. 2-1 for United as they head to the finals to face Chelsea. More like Chelsea head to the finals to face United if you want to be a time stickler. But this will be the 29th major domestic final that Manchester United have appeared in, which is a record, an English record. Congrats, y'all. On the other hand, a visibly dejected Dele Alli said after the game that Spurs, quote, "can't keep doing this," as they lost yet another FA Cup semi-final and have yet another season in which they will finish trophyless. Pochettino is yet to win anything with Spurs, and you have to wonder how long it will be until he finally starts to get some pressure on him. I fully understand that Spurs were a bit of a project when he picked them up, and he has without a doubt changed them for the better, but if you keep going season after season without a trophy, this will be the 3rd in a row for Poch, by the way, then questions will deservedly be asked. In Germany, the race for second place picked up a little steam when Borussia Dortmund beat the team they were level on points with, Bayer Leverkusen, 4-0. That's 8-0. And Dortmund looked dominant in this match, coming at a time where dominant performances are few and far between. Of note, Jadon Sancho became the youngest ever English player to score in the Bundesliga, as he's been looking decent with the few minutes he gets. Marco Reus also scored, which was his 60th Bundesliga goal for Borussia, putting him in 7th in the club's all-time scoring charts. So that 4-0 win puts Dortmund 3 points ahead of Leverkusen, though they are still 2 points behind FC Schalke, who could only manage a draw away to FC Köln. One of the most wild matches of the weekend saw Hoffenheim go away to the RB Arena and make the herding continue for Leipzig, beating them 5-2. Hoffenheim are undefeated in their last 8 matches, while Leipzig haven't won in their last 4, with 3 losses along the way. Now that they've moved within the Europa League race, now that Hoffenheim have moved into a Europa League place, they can set their sights upon Leverkusen in 4th place, 2 points ahead of them, to try to wrench a Champions League spot off of them. Monaco fans who may be worried that Leonardo Jardim is on his way to inherit Arsene Wenger's job could have grown even more nervous as AS Monaco lost yet again. This time to 10th place Guingamp 3-1. Granted, Jemerson was sent off in the 21st minute, but that's 2 losses in a row for Monaco, who have seemingly slumped hard after the dizzying heights of last season. And with the team not doing so well, I can only see further departures and a complete reshaping of the squad coming up this summer, which is too bad because I was really hoping they would challenge PSG more frequently. Marseille's blistering hot form continued as they beat Lille 5-1 and showed that they are one of the most exciting attacking sides in the world right now.
Florian Thauvin scored a brace, taking his goal involvement to 38 on the season, which is more than any other French player in Europe. Payet didn't get one himself, but he picked up his 9th assist in Ligue 1 in 2018. Just in 2018. That's more assists than any other player in league play in 2018, and 7 assists and 4 goals in his last 10 appearances.
Lyon also stretched their unbeaten run to 9 matches, getting their 6th win in a row against Dijon on Friday. That's not actually the longest unbeaten run in the league, however, as Saint-Etienne hasn't lost in 12 matches now. In Spain, Barcelona won their 4th consecutive Copa del Rey title, as it's looking as though they have secured the domestic double. They are yet to lose a match with Philippe Coutinho in their lineup, which is quite the stat, and Coutinho did well in this match. He scored a penalty in the second half, but before that, set up the first goal of the match in squaring to Luis Suarez. Lionel Messi scored as well, as he finished off a great passing move by Iniesta and Jordi Alba, and then Suarez scored once again in the 40th minute. In the second half is where the handkerchiefs came out for Andres Iniesta, who put on a masterclass in this match. Messi's ball found the Spanish legend in the box, who coolly stepped around Soria and slotted the ball into the empty net. Game over by that point, but as I said earlier, Coutinho put away a penalty in the 69th minute to make it 5-0 and truly embarrass Sevilla. That was the last time we'll see Iniesta appear in the Copa del Rey, as it was confirmed that he will be leaving to China at the end of the season. I get it. it. Gotta get that last big paycheck so that your grandchildren's children will be living comfortably, and Iniesta deserves that, after being such a loyal servant to Barcelona, and I'm just glad that he got to have that standing ovation from both sets of fans, and got to lift the trophy at the end of the match. Also, respect to Luis Suarez, who has scored in every single final he has played in for FC Barcelona, including the Champions League, UEFA Super Cup, FIFA Club World Cup, Supercopa, and Copa del Rey. Super Cups I'm not really into counting, but we'll give it to him, I guess. Alright, besides that, Valencia didn't take the opportunity they had to jump past Real Madrid, if anything for the moment, as Madrid have a game in hand. Valencia could only manage a 1-1 draw with Celta Vigo. What's up, guys? Come on. Not saying Celta Vigo's bad, but Valencia, you want to be top 3? Gotta do better than that. In Italy, Milan were shocked once again by Benevento, as they lost 1-0 at home to the bottom of the table club. That loss effectively ensures that Milan will miss out on the Champions League for the 5th season in a row. Their rivals Inter, however, just squeaked out a 2-1 win over Chievo. After flatlining for most of the match, Inter came to life thanks to Mauro Icardi in the 50th minute, scoring his 26th goal of the season. The last time an Inter player scored 26 goals in the Serie A was in the 1958-59 season. Without a doubt, the biggest match of the weekend across the top 5 leagues had to have been Juve versus Napoli.
The match didn't see a goal until the 90th minute, when Jose Callejon's corner was thumped into the net by a rising Kalidou Koulibaly. And so with just a 1-point lead, Juventus must travel away to Inter next weekend for the Derby d'Italia, and are yet to play Roma away in May also.
By the way, that was their first ever win in the Allianz Stadium, where Juve call home, and ensured that they have gone 30 matches unbeaten away from home now. Really happy to see Napoli win for the sake of the title race, and based on merit, as they completely deserve to win this match. Juve attempted only 4 shots, and none of them were on target. And just like your boy Felix never has time for a bonus meme, I don't have time for a bonus league in this episode. But thanks for watching with me. And hey, don't be shy about watching the Champions League semifinals matches with me this week as well. We'll be going live about 10 minutes before kickoff as per usual, but I'll upload a video to remind you as per usual. Alright guys, I'll see some of you in the MLS video later today, but other than that, have a good one.